Let me tell you something. Most people don't even realize the biggest battle they're fighting every single day is happening right here between their ears. Your mind is like a radio, constantly broadcasting, constantly playing something. Ooh. But here's the problem. You've been letting the wrong station run your life. You've been letting fear talk. You've been letting doubt talk. You've been letting insecurity talk. And you've been sitting there listening like it's the truth. It's your pit. You've been agreeing with the lies your mind is feeding you. And that's why you keep sabotaging yourself before you even take the first step. You gotta understand, your mind is always talking to you. And the quality of your life will never rise above the quality of that conversation. Oh. You can't control the first thought that pops into your head, but you can control what you do with it. And if you don't learn how to take authority over that voice, it will own you. It will limit you. It will convince you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. And here's the thing, you'll believe it, you'll live it. You've been feeding the wrong wolf. There are two wolves inside you every single day. One is fear, one is faith. One is doubt, one is belief. One is weakness, one is strength. And the one that wins is the one you feed. You feed it with your words. You feed it with your focus. You feed it with your thoughts. If all you do is rehearse your problems, replay your mistakes, and remind yourself of all the times you failed, then don't be surprised when you feel powerless. Don't be surprised when you freeze every time opportunity shows up. You've got to change the conversation. Stop letting your mind talk to you and start talking to your mind. When that voice tells you, you can't do this, you talk back. Watch me. When it says, you're not ready, you say, I'm getting ready right now. When it says, nobody like you has ever made it, you say, and then I'll be the first. You don't sit there and debate with negativity. You drown it out with truth. Most people don't fail because of a lack of ability. They fail because of a lack of mental discipline. You do discipline. They're talented, but they've never learned how to grab that steering wheel in their head and turn it toward the destination they want. They're so used to letting the old narrative run on autopilot that they don't even question it. But your mind is a tool. It's not supposed to be the master you are. Every single day, you've got to become the gatekeeper of your own thoughts. Not every thought gets a pass. If it doesn't serve you, it doesn't deserve a seat. If it's not going to help you grow, if it's not going to push you forward, then it gets evicted. Some of you need to issue an eviction notice to the lies that have been living rent-free in your head for years. That voice telling you you're too old, too young, too broke, too young, it's got to go. That's not your truth. That's just a habit of thought you've been practicing for too long. You've got to start feeding your mind with things that strengthen you. I'm not talking about random motivational noise you scroll past online. I'm talking about intentional, daily programming. Intentional, daily programming. You program a GPS with where you want to go. You've got to program your mind the same way. You wake up, and before the world starts talking, you start talking. You start talking. Before the stress of the day, before the negativity of the news, before somebody calls you with their drama, you plant seeds of strength. You tell yourself who you are, what you're capable of, what you're capable of. what you're committed to. And you say it out loud until your mind stops arguing and starts believing. Some people think this is fake, that it's lying to yourself. No, it's taking back control. You've been lying to yourself for years in the opposite direction, telling yourself you can't when you actually could. This isn't lying. This is reprogramming. It's you replacing the broken soundtrack with one that's going to push you to the next level. And don't expect this to feel natural in the beginning. You've been living with that old voice for years. Changing, it won't happen overnight. The first few times you talk back to it, it'll still try to push you around. It'll still try to pull you back into the old way of thinking. But if you keep showing up, keep speaking truth, keep feeding the right wolf, something amazing happens. The old voice gets weaker. The new one gets stronger. The new one gets stronger. And before you know it, the voice of doubt is no longer the loudest voice in the room. You've got to understand, your mind is either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. And the way you train it will decide which one it becomes. If you don't master your inner dialogue, it will master you. So every single time that negative thought shows up, you don't just let it stay. You confront it, you replace it, you speak the opposite. You take control of the conversation in your own head, because the way you talk to yourself will decide the way you live. You'll love it. If you can win that battle in your head, you can win anywhere. Life is going to throw storms at you. That's not a maybe, that's a guarantee. Some of you are in one right now. It might be financial. It might be in your relationships. It might be in your relationships. It might be in your health. And when that storm hits, it's easy to let it take over your whole world. It's easy to start living inside of it, to let the chaos outside turn into chaos inside. But here's the truth. You don't have to build a house in the middle of the storm. It's just in the middle of the storm. You can choose to stand in the rain without letting it flood your spirit. Your emotions are like weather. They're not permanent. They're not forever. A storm might rage for hours, days, even weeks, but it always passes. Even weeks, but it always passes. The problem is most people don't just experience an emotion, they set up camp in it. They get angry and stay angry. They feel fear and let it paralyze them. They feel hurt and keep rehearsing it over and over until it's not just a moment. It's a lifestyle. And the longer you live there, the harder it is to remember what it feels like to be free. I'm not saying to ignore your feelings. I'm not telling you to pretend nothing's wrong. I'm saying you acknowledge the storm without surrendering to it. You can feel the wind, see the clouds, hear the thunder, and still decide not to let it dictate your actions. You can stand in the middle of the storm and still hold on to your peace. Because here's the thing, peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the ability to remain centered in the middle of them. Some of you keep reacting so fast that you never give yourself a chance to choose. You let the storm control your tongue, your decisions, your attitude, your decision, your attitude. Somebody says something sideways to you and you fire back without thinking. Something doesn't go your way and you blow up. That's not strength. That's letting the storm run your life. Real strength is the pause. Real strength is being able to take a step back, breathe, and decide how you're going to respond instead of letting your emotions choose for you. Every time you react without thinking, you hand over the keys to your life. You give control to anger, to fear, to frustration. But when you can stand in the middle of a heated situation and keep your cool, you take the keys back. You're telling the storm, I see you, I feel you, but you don't get to drive today. Here's the trick. You have to create space between what happens and what you do about it. That space is where your power is. Somebody insults you, there's the event. Then there's the gap before you respond. Most people shrink that gap to zero, but if you can widen it, if you can breathe in that moment, you can choose a response that actually serves you. You don't have to escalate. You don't have to match their energy. You can choose to keep your dignity, your clarity, your focus. You got to stop making permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. The storm is temporary, but the damage you can cause by reacting wrong can last for years. Think about how many relationships, careers, and opportunities have been destroyed, not because of what happened, but because of how someone responded to what happened. The storm didn't kill them. When you can detach from the storm, you give yourself perspective. You can see beyond the moment. You can remember that this is not forever, that this is not the whole story. And once you realize that, you stop making choices out of desperation and start making them out of wisdom. Sometimes detaching means physically stepping away. Sometimes detaching means physically stepping away. You might need to leave the room, take a walk, get some fresh air before you deal with it. Sometimes it's mental. You stay present, but you mentally zoom out, reminding yourself that this is just a moment, not my whole life. The more you practice this, the stronger you get. And I know it's not easy. When emotions are high, everything in you wants to react. That's why you've got to train for the storm before it comes. You can't wait until the middle of a hurricane to learn how to swim. You practice by noticing your triggers now. You practice by catching yourself when you start to spiral. You practice by breathing, by pausing, by choosing to think twice before you speak or act. Every storm you survive without letting it control you makes you stronger for the next one. Eventually, you start to realize something. Storms don't scare you like they used to. You know they'll come. You know they'll pass. And you know that no matter how hard the wind blows, it doesn't have the power to move you unless you let it. So stop living inside the storm. Stand in it, face it, but don't give it a home in your heart. Because the one who controls their reaction controls their future. One of the fastest ways to drain your energy, your focus, your joy, is to spend your days trying to control things that were never yours to control in the first place. That's why some of you feel exhausted, frustrated, and stuck. Not because you don't work hard, not because you don't care, but because you've been pouring your heart into the wrong battles. You've been fighting to change people who don't want to change. You've been worrying about events you can't rewind. You've been stressing over outcomes you can't predict. And the more you do that, the less power you have left for the things that actually can change your life. You've got to understand, life will always present you with two categories: what's in your hands and what's not. And the moment you start treating those two like they're the same, you set yourself up for disappointment. You can't make the weather perfect. You can't make everyone like you. You can't make everyone like you. You can't control what's already happened, but you can control your attitude. You can control the effort you put in today. You can control the way you show up, no matter what's going on around you. You've been holding on to guilt over things you couldn't have changed. You've been carrying the weight of other people's choices. And while you're busy trying to control the uncontrollable, the things that are in your power, the things you could be improving, strengthening, building, those are sitting untouched. You're missing your moment because your focus is in the wrong place. It's like trying to steer a car from the back seat. You can yell at the driver all you want, but you're not the one with the wheel. All that energy, all that noise, all that stress, it's not moving the car an inch. But if you would take that same energy and put it into what is in front of you, the wheel you can hold, you'd be amazed at how far you could go. When you stop wrestling with what you can't control, something powerful happens. You get your strength back. You get your strength back. You get your peace back. That's why some people seem calm in the middle of chaos. It's not because their life is easier. It's because they've learned to stop fighting the ocean and start steering their own boat. Dude! They know the waves are coming. But instead of wasting all their energy cursing the water, they put their focus on the sails. The truth is, we waste so much life resisting reality. Something bad happens, and instead of moving forward, we replay it over and over, wishing it were different. That's like trying to re-edit a movie while you're sitting in the audience. It's too late for that scene, but the next scene is still being written. And if you're too busy staring at the last one, you'll miss your chance to shape the next one. Some people think letting go means giving up. No, letting go is not quitting, it's focusing. It's saying I'm done giving my energy to things that will never change, so I can give my best to the things that can. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. And it's one of the hardest but most freeing things you'll ever learn to do. Every single day, you need to ask yourself, is this in my control? If the answer is no, release it. Not tomorrow, not next week, right then. Release it and put your focus on something that will actually move you forward. And here's the beautiful thing. The moment you stop trying to control everything, you start to realize just how much you actually can control. Your habits, your discipline, your environment, your health, your skill set, the way you treat people. These are things that will change your life if you give them your attention. It's not that the other stuff doesn't matter. It's that the other stuff isn't yours to fix. And as long as you keep trying to play God in areas where you have no say, you have no say. You'll keep feeling powerless. But the moment you focus on your lane, the moment you pour yourself into what you can influence, your life starts moving again. And don't get me wrong, this takes practice. We're human. We like control. We like certainty. But life doesn't work like that. You're never going to have control over everything, and you don't need it. You just need control over enough to keep moving forward. And when you can accept that, you stop living like a victim of circumstances and start living like the captain of your own ship. Ship. So here's the challenge. This week, every time you catch yourself stressing over something, stop and ask, can I change this right now? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, then stop talking about it and do something about it. That's how you take your power back. That's how you keep moving forward, no matter what life throws at you. The moment you stop wasting energy on what you can't change, you'll have all the energy you need to change what you can. Your mind and emotions don't just get strong because you want them to. They don't get strong because you had one good day or one motivational moment. Strength up here, and then here comes from what you do over and over again. It's not about height. And if you're not building a daily system to train your mind, you're leaving yourself unprepared for the very battles you know are coming. Think about it. An athlete doesn't wait until game day to get in shape. A soldier doesn't wait until war breaks out to start training. They prepare in advance so that when the pressure's on, their instincts take over. They don't have to think about what to do. They've trained so much it's automatic. Your mind needs the same kind of conditioning. Because when life hits, when stress comes, when emotions start boiling, you're not going to rise to the level of your intentions. You're going to fall to the level of your training. Most people treat mental and emotional strength like it's optional. They think, I'll read when I have time. I'll pray when I feel like it. I'll meditate when life slows down. No, you've got it backward.